Alright, welcome back. So this is Circles Continued. This is part 2. In the previous video I showed you 3 types of questions you could be asked about circles. Here is the 4th type of question. So number 4. What happens if you're given just the 2 endpoints of a diameter? So, if you're given 2 endpoints of a diameter, what does that look like? So, we know the diameter is double the radius, or a line going straight through the center of a circle, kind of like a Pokemon doll. They're asking, what happens if we only gave you the coordinates there and there, but they did not give you the center? So, let's try one. So this would be 4a. What would happen if I gave you the coordinates -1, 8 and 5, 6? So, like the 3a, I am going to graph it just to give a visual. So I know I need to get the -1 there, I need to get 6. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my 2 points. We've got -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've got 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in our equation for a circle, we need 2 things. We need a center and we need a radius. We were given neither of those items, so we're going to have to find them. We know that the center should be directly in the middle of the diameter. So we have to find a way of where is the point exactly in the middle, or a midpoint rather, in this line. So there's a couple ways we can do this. One way we can use, we can just guess. So like for this one, you can kind of tell with a sloped triangle, if it goes down 2 over 6, we can go half of each of those numbers. So instead of going down 2, we'll go down 1. Instead of going over 6, we can go over 3, which is a good method. So if you're thinking that, awesome. You got to be careful though, because if they're really, really big numbers, and you can't just have them in your head like that, maybe consider not doing that. Instead, we should find the averages between the values. So, averages will find the middle. So if we find midpoints, this is the average of 2 points. So let's find the average of the x values. So that would be like adding them together and then dividing by 2. So for x's, we've got -1 and 5. Then we've got the y's, which is 8 plus 6 divided by 2. This becomes 4 over 2, which is just 2. This becomes 14 over 2, which is 7. So we have an x value of 2 and a y value of 7. If we plot that, we've got 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right there. And that looks pretty much in the middle. Just to expand our visual, I'm going to draw a circle starting at this center and see if it hits both my points. So we'll take this off there for a second. Not going to over everything. Alright. So I have found my midpoint, this midpoint of 2, 7, which another word for that would be our center of our circle. Alright, so we found one of the two things we need to write the equation of this circle. We need to find the radius. So how do we find the distance between here and here? We could use the distance formula and do it between this point and this point. Another way is I can find the distance between this coordinate and this coordinate and then just cut it in half, because the diameter is double the radius. So let's explore that. If we're finding the distance between -1, 8 and 5, 6, we're going to use our distance formula. So this one will give us our diameter. If I want to find the radius, I'll take that diameter, oops, there's a diameter, and divide by 2. This must be a division sign, but you guys know what I'm trying to do. So let's find D in diameter. We're going to find the difference of the x values, so that's going to be 5 take away -1 or +1. The differences of the y values, 6 take away 8. Our diameter is going to be 6 squared plus -2 squared. Again, we've got the square root of 40, or we've got 2 square root of 10. So that's our diameter. We need to find the radius, which is d over 2, or 2 radical 10 over 2. Those 2's will cancel out, and we just get radical 10 for our radius. So we've got a center point, and we've got a radius. That's all we need to write the equation. So here we go. The equation of the circle. We've got x take away h, which is -2. We have our h and k, plus our y take away 7 is going to equal r squared. So if we've got radical 10 as our r, we've got radical 10 squared, which is just plain old 10. And that's our answer. We're done. Okay, so let's do one more. We don't need to graph it. We'll just start using all of our math skills. So this is going to be 4e. Suppose we have endpoints. (0, -3) and -8, 3. So these are two coordinates on the outsides of a circle. We should find the center using what we do to find midpoints, which I realize I didn't really specify. So up here, when we found the average of 2 points, the midpoint formula, I'm going to do MP, is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. So that's basically what we did in this red over here, and that's how we found our center point. So back here, we're going to find center through the midpoint formula. we're going to add the x's together. 0 plus negative 8, cut them in half. Negative 3 plus 3, cut them in half. And then we're just going to simplify. So negative 8 plus 0 is negative 8, divided by 2 gives us negative 4. This is 0 over 2, so 0 divided by anything is still 0. There is our new center of the circle. Now we need to find the radius. So these are endpoints. So we can find the distance between these two and then just cut it in half. So we're going to do distance formula. We find the difference of the x's, add it to the difference of the y's, both of them being squared. So I'll do 0 minus negative 8, which is plus 8. Negative 3 minus 3. And now we've got distance is the square root of 8 squared is 64. Negative 3 take away 3 is negative 6, but it doesn't really matter with that negative because it's going to be squared and we get 36. This becomes the square root of 100, which is 10. Okay, so we found our radius. Oh, no we didn't. We found our diameter. So if we want our radius, it's the diameter divided by 2, so we have 10 over 2, which is 5. Whew, almost lost that one. So radius and 5, and we have our center at 4, 0. So let's write our equation. We're going to do x take away h, so that's going to be plus 4. And we're going to add y take away 0, which is just y squared. And that is equal to our radius squared. 5 squared is 25. And I'm done. Okay, here are your 2 problems. For C and for D. So these are your practice problems. I'm giving you 2 endpoints. Endpoints are negative 4, 10 and 2, 4. And then the other one is negative 16, negative 17, and negative 14, negative 13. So these are the 2 for you to do. I think in the previous video I said that I was going to post the answers at the end of the notes. I think I'm going to post the answers on Wednesday. That way you have a chance to try to do it on your own, see if you know what you're doing. And then on Wednesday you can have the answers. That's what I'm going to do for all these notes. I will put practice problems in the notes. I want you to try them on your own, check back on Wednesday, see if you get them right. Okay, that is the end of this video. Bye, see you next one.